strike, but 30,000 Coloradans got mailers telling them to do something they're not actually allowed to do.
And could head coach Nathaniel Hackett get the axe? What he says about his future with the team as they get ready to play in prime time again, and new odds on how long he'll be sticking around. 5 games now into his first year as a head coach.
The worst nicknames, right?
Right.
Camp, Hackett, Hatchet.
That's why you have a last name like Hidalgo. It's not easy to do.
There's no nickname there.
Hard to rhyme with.
Right. But it looks really nice today.
Hey,
Hidalgo.
We've got Avalanche to start talking about.
That's right.
All right, we got that tomorrow night with that game. I'll have that forecast coming up on the Super 7 Day. Beautiful this morning, a lot of sunshine, mid to upper 50s. You can see, well, still how green the grass is there at City Park, with the leaves changing a bit. Blue skies and winds right now at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. It's starting to get a little bit breezier up and through the mountains. We're seeing wind speeds up to about 30, 35 miles per hour, in fact, on the west side of town. And that's what we'll see for wind gusts today. So it is going to be a little bit breezier today. Fire danger, unfortunately, will be really high. The counties here across northeastern Colorado, here in pink, under a fire weather warning, goes into effect at 11 o'clock this morning. It's going to be warm and dry there. What we will see today is 50s in the morning, 60s to low 70s by early afternoon. Those winds picking up a bit, and then some increase in cloud cover. We do have a slight chance for a few spotty showers tonight, but overall pretty dry still across the Super 7 Day. We'll take a look at the rest of that coming up in just a few minutes.
And we do have a problem getting up into Boulder, getting past the mall. There's a crash up there. We also have this one on southbound I-25 between University and Colorado. It's a little hard to see right in here. Some flashing lights right before you get to the Steel Street Bridge. Now, it's off to the left shoulder, so the drive time right now heading that way, as you can see from the map, is running at about a half an hour either southbound or northbound with that crash in there. But the lanes are in essence open. You just should be moving over to get around it. The other trouble spot is going to be up here on Highway 36 on that westbound side. You can see from the camera up by the mall some of that really slow traffic. You're also dealing with sun glare on that eastbound side, so all the eastbound routes getting really blasted with that sun glare. It's just at that angle that caused some really big delays, unfortunately, on some of the eastbound side. So that Highway 36 drive is quite crowded. Same thing out to the west side of town on 6th Avenue. And look how heavy it is now on C470 getting up past Morrison, right around 25 or so minutes up to I-70.
Speaking of I-70, it's one of Colorado's most well-known and most visible for teeners, but Mount Evans could soon have a new name.
The proposal will go before a state board today. Denver 7's Brandon Richards joins us live. And Brandon, Native tribes in our state say this current name is a reminder of a horrifying chapter in our state's history.
Yeah, that's right, Nicole. And the Cheyenne Arapaho tribes and others have been pushing for this name change for years. Of course, changing the name of any landmark is not easy. It's a long process. But tonight marks an important milestone in that process. For the very first time, the Colorado Geographic Naming Advisory Board will hear the proposal from tribal representatives seeking this name change. Now, Mount Evans is named after Colorado Territorial Governor John Evans. John Evans authorized and was responsible for the Sand Creek Massacre of 1864, one of the worst massacres in history. Hundreds of Cheyenne and Arapaho men, women, and yes, children were murdered. Cheyenne Arapaho tribes say someone like Evans should not be honored.
We want the mountain changed because when we come to Denver, we don't want to look and see Evans. You know, there's a lot of things that we're changing, you know, in the country now, as far as you might say, derogatory names or bad names. And so this would be a good name to change.
And the Misdahet Coalition, which is made up of tribal members and the Wilderness Society, are pushing to rename Mount Evans to Mount Blue Sky. Blue Sky honoring the Arapaho, who were known as the Blue Sky people, and the Cheyenne hold an annual ceremony of renewal of life called Blue Sky. Now, tonight's meeting starts at 6. Back in March, Clear Creek commissioners approved the name change. But again, as we said, this is a long process, and it includes the governor, federal leaders having to sign off on it before it can become official. We're live in Denver this morning. Brandon Richard, Denver 7.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, less than a month from midterm elections now, Colorado's Secretary of State's office says it sent postcards to about 30,000 people who are not state citizens, encouraging them to register to vote. They say this was a mistake. A driver's license database glitch is reportedly to blame. The Secretary of State's office says anyone who is not a citizen and tries to register to vote will not be able to.
Checking in on Wall Street this morning, off to a slow start. The Dow down just about 1/3 of a percentage point as we start off the trading day here. The drop comes as investors look toward a key inflation report this week and some earning reports. This will all start today when the New York Fed releases its survey of consumer expectations. That survey will include what Americans think about inflation, and that comes ahead of this week's inflation report. There will also be another report on consumer sentiment out on Friday. The owner of the Rockies isn't hiding his disappointment in the team.
Yeah, this was interesting. In a letter to season ticket holders, Dick Monfort declared the 4-year playoff drought for the Rockies not acceptable and said excuses serve no purpose. This season, the Rockies finished last in the NL West standings for the first time in 7 years, 43 games out of first. Monfort says the team is committed to improving in the offseason and even highlighted some of the younger prospects in the franchise.
Yeah. Well, from the ball field to the gridiron, things have been tough for the Broncos and head coach Nathaniel Hackett. Right now, at least, he still has a job.
Yeah, first-year head coach. Well, the Panthers' Matt Rule became the first NFL head coach to get the axe. Again, just 5 games into the season, but Hackett's odds of sticking around still aren't great. He is expected, odds-wise, to be the next head coach fired. It's plus 200 on sportsline.com this morning. Hackett says he's not thinking about what other people are saying. He's just working hard to get back in the win column next week.
The fact of it is, we're going to work and we're going to do what we have to do to be able to put the guys in the right position and find the right things to get these guys going and put them in better positions to be open and better positions in the run game. I mean, that's what we want to do. I mean, we're here for the whole long haul this season. We've got 11 games. There's a lot more, 12 games left. There's a lot left and a lot of room for improvement, and that's what we're going to be focusing on.
Yeah, they need this time to gel and to continue healing from injuries. The Broncos are back in prime time for Monday Night Football next Monday. You can watch them take on the Chargers over on Denver 7.
Well, fear not, Denver sports fans. We have a winning team for you to root for.
Wow, we got to hang out with the Stanley Cup. This was awesome this morning. We have details on tomorrow's Avs season opener.
Also, new details about the cyber attack targeting DIA and airports around the country.
It's a huge hit. It's thousands of dollars out without even a vehicle. That's even a whole nother load of, that's something that I worked my butt off for years. And, so altogether the number makes me shake.
How you can help a local musician get back on his feet after thieves swiped his gear.